This is the best way how to stay consistent and get exercise done. Anytime, any day, like no excuses. It might suck, you might not like it, but if it is important to you.
Every successful person, from Elon Musk to Cristiano Ronaldo, swear by their morning routine. It's their secret weapon. So, I broke down the habits of the world's top achievers to create the ultimate morning routine that guarantees productivity. And I'm gonna be putting it to the test. You know what they say, every successful morning starts with an early night. So it's 8 p.m., we're getting ready for bed. Now, as you can see, the blinds are open, and that's because Richard Branson leaves his blinds open for the sun to naturally wake him at around 5 a.m. Now, I'm from Canada, it's winter here, and we don't get sunlight. Period. Since I'm not living in the Virgin Islands in June, I have a backup plan. Retired Navy SEAL Jocko Willink sets his alarm for 4:30 a.m. to the song Iron Swan. It's something that he calls an escalating alarm.
It starts off nice and mellow. And if you don't get up in time, it's coming.
I'm scared for that. I feel so exposed right now.
And you should be, because, fitness routines like these can work for some people, but getting to bed at 8 p.m. for a person who has kid, who has normal job, who is not entrepreneur, who is not in charge of their daily routine, that's kind of not something that would work. I mean, yeah, you can try that, but maybe push it a little bit later.
Right now. I might as well just drop the sex tape. I really hope my neighbors don't have binoculars, or else they're gonna see something else. The vibe of this song is making me just want to hit a hookah and then pass out, not leap out of bed and seize the day. My usual little morning greeter hasn't even risen. And out of just sheer curiosity, I'm gonna let the song play out because I'm so curious what's gonna happen. And while I do that, we're gonna drop down and do some push-ups. Simon Cowell does 150 push-ups every morning. It's one of the things that helped him lose 50 pounds. Also, it didn't take long for me to figure out exactly what Jocko meant by an escalating alarm.
So, starting day with exercise is really a good example how small habits can lead to great change. Like these 100 push-ups doesn't seem like a much, especially if you spread it, for example, throughout the day. But if you just start this with 10 minutes of exercise every day, for most people, it's much more than zero that they would aim for that perfect routine, like 60 minutes of exercise later in the day. But so many things can get in the way that often it doesn't even happen. So that's a really great way how to start your day.
Yeah, that's a trauma alarm. That's some Hell Week type shit. You knew it was coming, didn't you? Cristiano Ronaldo takes a cold shower every single morning. Who else hates themselves?
That will wake you up.
I want to wake up feeling like a champion, not inferior to a baby carrot. But everyone says it's good for you. I heard a guest on Joe Rogan say that, which is everyone, I guess. I never really know, am I supposed to bring shampoo and body wash in? Or is this just supposed to be sheer torture? This is easily the worst 1 minute of my life that I can recall. I think ever since my dad gave me the birds and the bees talk. But the amount of benefits of a cold shower is really hard to pass up on.
It's worse than dipping yourself.
The day really only can get better.
From there, I made my bed. Here's some proof. Apparently, this simple chore can make you more productive the rest of your day. Then I went downstairs to make a coffee. Sort of. Ed Catmull makes a drink consisting of 3 espressos, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and some sweetener. He says this helps him think better. So, Ed, you're telling me this helps you think better?
Too much caffeine.
What's in your cocoa, Ed? I think another name for this thing is a crackhead's red-eye mocha. And if you need this first thing in the morning, you probably should have stayed in bed just a little bit longer. Oh my gosh, that's a heart attack hot chocolate.
270
Whoa.
milligrams of caffeine.
It's definitely
already,
not
just in
the
morning.
consistency that I would describe coffee to be. It's pretty thick. Like I could almost maybe seal a wound with it. I think that this might just help him think better because anything less than this might just be instant withdrawal. It is so strong. Like if you have a child you're like looking to wean on to caffeine, this could be a good start. Now, if you think that this drink is different,
Some people
Warren
like me.
Buffett, first thing in the morning, has some Coke, and not even the good kind. Coca-Cola in the can. Dude is in his 90s. It's crazy
That
how
just
I
shows
already
that
feel like
different
today's gonna be a
strokes for
banger
different folks.
because I made my bed. I wore this so that people would see me, but now I just have a feeling that everyone's just gonna wanna hit me. Kevin Hart will run 2 to 3 miles every single morning after The Rock kisses him goodbye before heading to his iron paradise. 2 to 3 miles, I like that distance. I'm not running 15 miles like David Goggins because somehow I don't think frostbite's gonna make me more of a man. Now I have 3 concerns on this run. The first one,
Well, my first concern is that you had a cold shower. Now you go out for a run in freezing weather. You know, maybe not where you live, but usually like people set these goals in January, and it's like one of the coldest months, and it's like there is freezing cold out at 5 or 6 a.m. You know, it's not fun. So I would rather go to the shower than going into the freezing weather sometimes, and sometimes just going out is what you need. That's instead of your cold shower. Now, if you combine these different stressors, you can get ill or sick very quickly. So be careful with that.
the first one, wildlife. Second one, the fact that I just had 3 shots of espresso before cardio. That's a big concern.
Yeah.
And then the
No
third
toilet.
one is that this is a reasonable hour for crime in my city, and I just don't want to be caught in the middle of it. We're just gonna try to get this done as quick as we can. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm running through an alley right now. I'm freezing. Can't feel my hands. Got an icicle between my legs.
Actually, this is how I started running, or how I start every winter. When I go out for a morning walk, you know, it's too cold. So I start running to warm myself up. It's like natural process, and it's very seamless transition to getting more volume during the day, or more running volume overall.
Even though the run is only 2 miles, for some reason, I'm somehow both exhausted and weirdly proud. And the feeling I have finishing this run is the same feeling I had leaving my last exam of the year. Today's gonna be a good day. A touch of hypothermia in the morning, I think it's really gonna make me feel appreciative for the rest of the day. Another really big bonus of the early morning run is I'm already just about 4,000 steps in of my 10,000 a day total. And it's not even 6 a.m.
Plus the 100 push-ups he's already done.
Tim Ferriss makes something called the titanium tea. And given the name, I was expecting Viagra in the recipe. But nope, it's just a mixture of black tea, green tea, ginger, and turmeric. I do find tea to be a lot like candles and gasoline. It smells a lot better than it tastes. Yeah, I mean, it tastes like hot water. But apparently this tea is gonna be great for cognition and for fat loss. And while we sip on this, we're gonna be doing something called the Pomodoro technique that Elon.
So I'm not sure about the fat loss effects, but what I'm sure that will help your fat loss is doing that 100 push-ups with a shit ton of caffeine, and then also running 2-3 miles before 6 a.m.
Elon Musk and Bill Gates use. And basically what it is you're gonna break your stuff up into time slots. They do 5-minute slots where you focus on one thing at a time. A lot can get done in 5 minutes. A lot of disappointment, but now I have an excuse. I'm sorry, Katie. I'm just trying to live my most productive life. So I checked my
So this is something that I've tried as well, and Pomodoro technique is a really good example of something that works for productivity. But 5 minutes seemed like too short for something substantial to get done. So you can experiment with these time frames or how long the time slots are. Usually it's go from 20 to 60 or even 90 minutes, depending on the depth of the project you are working on. But 5-minute slots, can be good for checking emails or something small that doesn't require like deep work in getting your mind focusing on something.
Emails for 5 minutes, did a little mindfulness practices, and then I created my to-do list for the day. 1, finish all my work while working on camera. How meta. 2, clean my room. I mean, just look at it. It's bad. And I'm getting kind of embarrassed. 3, I need to get Boba a Christmas gift, and every day with him is a gift already, so there's no cap on how much to spend on him. 4, romantic dinner for Katie. Pretty much every celebrity that I looked at, they all went to the gym in the morning. Now we have to give a special shout out to my boy, Jeff Bezos. He went from looking like a librarian to just an overly involved football dad. He looked like he went from getting stuffed in lockers to calling dibs on top bunk. He literally looks more like Vin Diesel than Vin Diesel. There's a lot of speculation regarding his natty status. I mean, look at this paparazzi shot. He has a lethal arm pump, just casually on his yacht. Jeff, I hate you. Regardless, he attacks the weights for 45 minutes every single day. So we're gonna do a 45-minute upper body workout. Let's get it. Barely alive and running solely on vibes from my run. Honestly, the only thing keeping me going was the sweet relief that it wasn't leg day. If it had been, I'd probably still be in the parking lot, for real. But instead, a glorious collection of manageable weights and machines where I can sit down. I mean, if you don't like people and you're antisocial, just wake up early, man. There's like nobody here. I have definitely had better workouts in my lifetime, that's for sure. I'm also terrified to say I am starving right now. It's only 7 a.m. I'm not usually hungry at this time. I'm not usually awake at this time, and it's kind of scary. The thing that sucks about eating is that eventually you have to stop eating. So then you're no longer eating. And then you're basically just thinking about the next meal. So I just have a prolonged amount of time of that headspace, which is being extremely difficult. I think I might go over my calories today, which is not conducive to my goals. I can't.
Now, this is a really great point, and this is what I noticed it myself and also many other people who maybe change their routine, and specifically when they want to stay fit and prevent gaining weight or even trying to lose weight. If I start eating earlier, start getting up earlier, now I'm hungry early in the day, like Will before 7 a.m. Usually he sleeps. Okay, when you are just asleep, you are not hungry. Now, he started at 5 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. and he's been up. He did all these exercises, so he has done a lot of physical activity, 100 push-ups, 2 to 3 miles around, getting to the gym. Now, having a gym workout, of course you are hungry, but for some reason we are afraid of that, or we don't put all these pieces of puzzle together, and we think, okay, I used to be hungry at 9 or 10 a.m. or not until lunch. Well, because you got up later in the day, you didn't do that physical activity, you probably did it later in the evening, so you were naturally not hungry. So yeah, don't let that scare you. And the thing is, we will see how this will play out, but my assumption is he will not go over his calories for the day and without any trouble, because also remember, he goes to bed now at 8 p.m., so much earlier.
I can't say I feel the call of iron in the morning, but one thing's for sure, I'm going to try my best, and that's all that really matters. We don't know much about Jeff's routine, other than he does a push-pull legs type of split.
I'd rotate. I do a pulling day and a pushing day and a leg day.
Quick little fun fact. I actually DM'd Jeff Bezos' trainer on Instagram being like, yo, bro, give me this golden routine. What the heck? And then he then responds being like, yo, dude, I have an NDA. I can't. And that's making me wonder, how personal does this trainer get? What muscles are we not supposed to know he's working? But then again, being one of the richest people in the world, he probably has an NDA for the pizza boy delivering something to his house.
Hope that makes sense. For a pizza boy.
Between the cold shower and the morning run, it had me feeling like I was aging in reverse, if you know what I mean. But the sauna has me feeling a little more like a man now. I'm just gonna chill in here for a little bit, sweat away my sins one drop at a time, and just get ready to attack the day. Why are these rocks
would
here?
expect
I'm just kidding.
cold water
If you have
exposure
access to
now,
a sauna, my one piece of advice for you is go in it. On this website, it says it can increase muscle regrowth by 30% and even increase your HGH by 200 to 500%. That's a no-brainer.
So I would expect like the popular trend is to do cold dips or something like that after exercise, which doesn't really seem to aid muscle recovery. Sure, it makes you feel like lighter, your muscles like relaxed, but also your veins constrict, the nutrients are not delivered into your bloodstream to the muscles and so on. So what we have a lot of evidence, or relatively lot of evidence, definitely much more than for cold exposure, is for hot sauna. So yeah, that's better. Like cold before workout, hot after the workout. That works.
Workout already done? What? Feel like a champion. Seriously though, I've been trying to convince myself to start going to the gym early for the longest time, and I just can't do it. I'm a sloth in the morning, but this has just sealed the deal. The gym, getting my steps in, takes up so much of my headspace during the day, and it's super annoying when I'm doing desk work that I'm like, damn, I gotta get up and pace and get my steps in, or else I'm not gonna get them in. I'm gonna have to pace tonight, all that stuff. So it's just nice, it's out of the way, don't have to worry about it. I'm already at a little over 6,000 steps.
9 a.m.
I can't be stopped. Just had a wonderful.
So this is so important because many people who are busy, who are business owners, you are trying to push your projects, maybe improve business, you have a lot of things going on during your day. Then there is also family, kids after school, whatever. A lot of things can get in your way during the day, but if you get this done first thing in the morning, this is like a no-brainer. This is the best way how to stay consistent and get exercise done anytime, any day, like no excuses. So it might suck, you might not like it, but if it is important for you, morning workouts.
Full shower. Here's some proof. Now it's time to make some breakfast. So Taylor Swift is one of, if not the most influential person in the entire world.
Grapes.
Now I'm going to reserve my judgment on that because Swifties are terrifying. They're like vegans with social media clout. Just like a lot of situations I got myself into, I'm just going to swallow and smile. Her favorite breakfast of all time is buckwheat crepes with ham, egg, and cheese, which, to be honest, sounds great. And it sounds pretty well balanced. So I'm going to try to make that and see how close we can get to Taylor.
Buckwheat
Well, I mean, she probably
cheese is
doesn't
so
cook it.
Nutty flavor.
Guaranteed doesn't cook it.
compared
So
to-
see how close I get to Taylor's chef.
to the typical
I just feel
flour.
so productive right now that I feel like I need to let myself down. You know what I mean? I feel like I gotta lower the bar for tomorrow, or else I feel like I'm just gonna feel terrible. And I also just don't want Katie to see how much more I can do. I don't even know if I can keep this up for the entire day. I'm already starting to fade a bit, but we'll see.
Me and Taylor might still
Make crepes.
why I made that
Girl.
famous.
Well, Taylor's crepes look and probably taste like they came straight from Paris. Mine, on the other hand, could have been cooked by a prison chef named Paris. Ham, egg, and cheese, a day's work for a cow and a chicken, and a lifetime commitment for the pig.
Some
Eggs and ham,
vegetables, please.
you can't mess those up.
Fruit, maybe.
Something that Dr. Seuss taught me a long time ago. Now, apparently sometimes Taylor puts some imported truffles on her crepes. I have some truffle sauce imported from Walmart. Crepes, thin and mysterious, and given my track record with French guys, I should probably get it tested first, but I definitely overcooked that egg. Holy smokes.
I have this thing
I'm way more hungry.
that I developed that if I don't see green on the plate, then there is something wrong, there is something missing. And I think this is a good mindset for most people, and especially if you want to lose weight, manage your hunger and so on. Yeah, you want protein, but you also want those colors of vegetables. So red bell pepper, green arugula, for example, and it adds volume, it adds vitamins, minerals, it fills you up. It's really like it's missing there, right?
Hungry than I should be for breakfast. I've just been up for freaking a long ass time.
Even blueberries, strawberries. These are full
is
of
flat,
antioxidants.
But my, does it have a lot of personality. Taylor fans do not look too much into that. Oh my God, that is good. And I think it's actually impossible to mess up these things, you know? And if you do, you should be shot. If Warren Buffett's eating McDonald's, Taylor Swift's having cold cuts, billionaires are relatable, yo. That means there's no reason why you can't eat leftovers. Oh my God,
Make
the head
it
rush.
simple.
It was time to tackle work. My 11 a.m. meeting, destroyed. My 12 p.m. meeting, obliterated. They didn't even see it coming. I was like a productivity ninja, throwing out ideas and solutions like they were nothing. Then I locked in for the rest of the afternoon, crushing work before heading off to shoot part of a video where I'm transforming someone. Any guesses? All my work is done for the day. I'm considering taking a nap to give my to-do list some time to breathe. Time to address this fabric jungle. I swear it's
So before we move on, that's really also my experience. When I wake up at 5 a.m., I get most of the things done by 1 p.m. where I have my lunch. And it almost feels like the day is only starting, but I'm done. So I get done a lot compared to when I wake up at 6 or even 7 a.m. That's like almost a day wasted for me. That's my experience anyway. And one thing that I also noticed that when I do this for 2, 3, or 4 weeks, while I'm being very productive and so on, I start to feeling like that I didn't sleep enough, regardless of how many hours I sleep. So even if I sleep for 8 hours, when I'm waking up at 5 a.m., I don't get as much restorative sleep, it seems to me. I don't know why. It doesn't work for me. So 6 a.m., okay, 5 a.m. doesn't work for extended periods of time. I can do this for focus projects for 2 to 4 weeks at a time.
It's been here for so long, it could probably qualify for historical preservation. Let's get rid of it. For me, coming out of the closet was easy. It's just going back in to put clothes away that I find challenging. For some reason, my thought process was take the pile of clothes on top of the dresser and then put them on the bed and not into the dresser. Oh my gosh, I have been looking everywhere for you. Oh my God, I've also been looking everywhere for you. Who would have thought? There was a method to the madness during the time, but I was just determined to clean things up, and I was just super excited to actually see bare surface with all that dust there. It's so gross. This took so long. It took 15 minutes. I have no idea why I waited this long to do it. But I wrote it down, I made a list, and I'm just like, I have to execute it. And they do say, if you write it down, you are more likely to get it done. So maybe I should write down Will Schwarzenegger and see where that gets me. Next up on the list, get Boba a Christmas gift. So we went to his favorite store, Pet Value. Now he really wanted to come with me because for some reason he just doesn't trust me selecting the proper toys for him. I'm not sure why. So we talked about it. We shook hands, as you can see. We made a deal. I made a promise that I'm not gonna let him down here. Dinner is served, and I'm actually shocked I've made it to this point of the day. I'm extremely overtired, running on adrenaline, and this time, no drugs were involved, like at homecomings. One thing I do know for sure is I'm gonna be crashing harder than a toddler after a sugar high tonight, because I'm so sleepy, but I'm so hungry. So we made some penne with some turkey meat sauce. Gonna put some Parmesan cheese on it. Just gonna manifest what I wish my coffee table looks like right now. It's one of those days. Well, a good meal and a happy wife. I think the right thing to say is, what more could I ask for? And now I don't know many things, but what I do know is this routine is just not for me. I think I'm gonna be off to hibernate for at least the next 3 days. But hey, they say if you win the morning, you win the day. So everyone should have a morning routine. It doesn't have to be over the top like this one, just something simple that gives you purpose and sets you up to tackle the day your way.
In the end, we didn't find whether Will overate or not, which was the most interesting part for me. But when it comes to your fitness, health, productivity routines. There are as many as there are people. What really works, I would distill it to these 3 simple things. Get up relatively early. So this can be different for different people, but for most people works somewhere between 5 to 7 a.m. This gives you the time to exercise, to do things that are important for you, and especially when you have family, kids, the time that you spend like early in the morning is the time that there is very little room for interruptions. So that's why many people who are very consistent with their fitness routine, with their productivity, working on their side hustle, that's the time when you want to leverage. The second important thing is that you should know, if you are getting up early, what you are going to do, or have that time early in the morning to schedule your day. That is really important. For example, Will here did it later in the day, but he already knew what to do. But for most of us, what I see being like really beneficial is to know what I'm going to do as soon as I wake up, because this gets you off the bed, this gets you excited for the day, and well, especially if it's something that you enjoy and that is important for you. The third important thing is to know how your activities affect you. So for example, if I start my day by movement, whether it is walk or a run or doing like push-ups or whatever, it sets the tone that for the next several hours I get moving more. If I start by doing some mental work, either it is studying, recording podcast videos, or doing these things, then I get into that state of mind and flow that for the next several hours I'm doing that kind of work. And then there is another thing that I know that after my run I'm the most productive, because I get a lot of ideas during my run. So I just want to get, for example, breakfast, recover, refuel, and get back into that. I don't want to break that kind of chain of motivation or break that flow. So that's important for you to know how to stack these things that are beneficial from you getting from the start. And if you are someone who is trying to optimize, whether it's your health, energy, performance, whether it is mental or physical, you are trying to find the optimal routine for you, then schedule a free 15-minute consultation with me. We will look into your habits, like what you are doing, where you want to go, where you want to get in life, what's important to you, and outline the strategy, and so you have the next clear step. And then if you want to work with me closely for an extended period of time via coaching, we can also speak about this. So head to the link below and see you next time.